like I said today, there would be no dance off because, it's 12 degrees up here actually, and it's miserable. I got so miserable walking outside. My whole body that I need to preserve for dance, hands that I need to preserve for piano, and just full body got frostbite. I was in a lot of pain. I was in tears like I never am. Feel better now. I was able to finish some of my rehearsal today because I at least had a rehearsal, if not a whole dance off, which is when I present my improvs for all day long, 9 to 5, a work day on Saturday, then go to the stage at 5. And I warm up earlier. That is dancer's life. Starting at super early in the morning, finishing super late at night, and hardly ever seeing the world out there. And I wondered how isolated that would make me feel when I became a professional, but I don't feel isolated at all. It's amazing. The dance world is like a big world of its own, where so much happens that could be happening out there in the world. So today I was going to talk about auditions, what to expect, and what is required. First of all, you have to be invited. And usually that requires being a certain level and having certain skills so that you are recommended or recommendable, at least for, let's say, a certain video. And then personality does come in. Do not get me wrong there. But you kind of need a level. They evaluate your level to see which video you would fit in, level, skill, personality wise, or the ballet swans. If you don't get in, which is a big part of dance, it's kind of a heartbreaking career. If you don't get in, several times I've not gotten the parts I want, but so many times, too many times to count, I very fortunately have. But if you don't get in, don't worry. It's not because you're not good or anything. It's because, you're not a fit for them. If you're not in the Swans production, maybe you're not a fit for Swans. Or maybe you get in, but you won't get the biggest part. You get the most anonymous part. It's just about whatever fits you. So consider that rather than being heartbroken. But believe me, this career is very heartbreaking. It seems so glamorous, but for the most part, it's heartbreaking. So expect that, and always expect to not get the part when you go. But never think negatively. Never think on the pessimist side. That will set you up for failure rather than success, as I have had to learn, and I am still having to learn that slowly. So always think positive, but never expect the most. I think that's the better way to phrase it. So let's go over my audition last week. Just the warm-up. I mean, look at me just in my class clothes. It's this outfit minus the tutu and the Valentine's Day shirt. Except never mind, I did wear the Valentine's Day shirt. Off topic, but I stupidly walked outside in my sporty top and my pants in 9 degrees. It was a few seconds and it felt kind of good. Really, but you shouldn't do that. Dancers need to take care of themselves. Anyway, the first part, the warm-up. Warm-up is not just a stretch. Warm-up starts with high intense cardio level, interval training. We're doing these jumps and these kicks. It almost felt like we were doing Zumba. My mom had me do with her when I was about 10, 11, 12, I think. Yeah, that's when. But that's kind of what warm-up is like. You start with a cardio because it's about getting the blood flowing. Your blood needs to be flowing very well. And another thing, you want to be sure to have some good food before you audition, but not too much. And it needs to be well digested before you audition. Mine, I ate too close to audition last week, but it's okay. I was digested by then. It was just a muffin because we had a great bakery close by where many of my friends work and all that. And also, this part where I have the blood flowing, then I go into my splits and my split exercises and stretches. That is a big part of audition. You must be warmed up first. I did not do the warm-up for the audition like I did just beforehand. I included that in the video just to, just to, you know, like, express that. Except the only audition where I did a warm-up as part of it was 3 and almost 4 years ago. COVID. Oh my gosh, where's this time gone? When I auditioned up here for the very first time in Indiana, Pennsylvania. And I drove 20 miles from Kansas City. How we actually did start the whole audition with a warm-up, where they had warm-up our first number, where they tested and evaluated us going into a ballet center floor after we introduced who we are. And that one, it's about what they were looking for. They were looking for stamina. Like, do I have the stamina of a dancer? Did I have the stamina of a dancer? Did everybody else in the group have the stamina of a dancer? Like, where you could warm up and then go to center floor, go to the bar, and then go on to some intense training, and then go do your choreography rehearsal for hours, which was why they made us do about 8 or 10 dances. I'd won in every category that time, because I really was going for all the categories. Your first one's always your biggest and most rigorous. And that one was still one of my biggest yet. So, like, it also varies. What you're going to audition on varies for what the part is. That's my next statement. Look at ritual fire dance. Alright, ritual fire dance, that's going to be my solo point number. I did audition on, full point. It was a little difficult. I hadn't been on point for a while because I had been really sick with flu and we think pneumonia too at the same time. I picked it up over in Baltimore at the fashion show. So I had been off a point, and that's a good tip for all of you guys. That's a no-no. All dancers do things they shouldn't at times. I think I've just revealed the times I have. Going too far without point before an audition, then catching right back up last minute. But no offense, at my level, professional level, you can do that. That's one of the main indicators that you are a professional. That you're able to just catch right on without tons of work. But also do some more catching on and work to be safe, so your body doesn't get shocked and injured. So here it is. I just did this short little combo, and they shortened it even more from what we had practiced because that was the ice storm day, which they aren't too used to in Tennessee, certainly not in Martin, where I was. Although they are used to it here in Pennsylvania, where I am now and where I still live part-time and plan to live part-time for a while. So they shortened the dance a little bit. And expect that at an audition for like last minute changes that you have to adapt to at last minute. And expect for numbers to be shortened or cut a little bit, but even if that's what you're expecting, don't ever cut your dance out. Always do the whole thing. And rehearse the whole thing because you never know what parts. Same with exams at school. So there's ritual fire dance, and she did not leave me a critique sheet critiquing where I could have been better, but then she texted me my results, which I'm so happy with. And my results were good, and my critique sheet that she texted me, she just said, use your core more on this one. Using core and posture is one I had to work a long way with last year, and I really did. I went from not quite where I needed to be to like pretty good at it for a while, but I was a little soft that day. I will admit it. I'm revealing myself again. I was a little softer, and I felt I did a bad job. I wanted to have a little moment because I thought I did such a bad job. I wanted to, cry a little because I thought I did such a bad job, but no, I didn't. She did say, yeah, I was soft. Try not to be, and don't be at the next one, but I still did a good job for someone who was soft. I just could have used the core more in turns on both the routines and on the passes on point. And yes, I did get picked for this one. I'm rehearsing for this interesting music with my very interesting costume. Here's what it looks like. It's not really fire, but this is an interesting costume they chose. I know, interesting for fire. More like a unicorn circus cotton candy thing. As you see, she didn't have me wear it for audition. And that's another thing we can talk about later. What to wear to an audition. So there's the fire one. All right, let's look at Latina mix. All right, Latina, how I was a little bit uncertain because I become an improv freelancer. That makes me uncertain with technicalities. I'm sorry, I can't say that word. Technicalities. That's a hard word for me. Anyway, off the tangent. Technicalities are what we are working on this semester. And my goal to improve each semester. Like, even when I'm not in school, we still have spring semester, summer semester, fall semester, performance season for each one, full ballet through that season, where I have to use a full semester not only to do the performance season, but also to work on, where I need to improve. And this time it's technicalities such as always land in fifth after a turn, after your passe on point, between another step when transitioning, always come down and don't pop up. And always make your coupe exact, not just halfway to cheat. You're coming down, then come up to coupe passe. Those are the little technicalities. I hate that word. I'm done saying it. That all of us dancers need to keep in mind when we're dancing. Our costume, I do not have it yet. I just purchased it this morning and it should be in any day. But it's going to be this really cool black and yellow one. As you see, they had me wear this black thing. Where is it? Let me get out of my comfort zone. This is what they had me wear. The little black dress, the little slut dress that got me sexually assaulted last semester. I use it mainly for dance, and I had a little skirt under it to make it more fun and to make it less slutty, more appropriate, so I don't get seen. If you let your butt show, they'll kick you out. That's really funny to say. So there's the Latin dance and the very fun part at the end. We're going to that. The fun part, it's the whole TikTok trending dance of cha-cha challenge. Not the cool old cha-cha slide, but a cha-cha challenge. Everybody do the cha-cha. And everybody call me Papa. Just like the cha-cha slide, except it's the cha-cha Papa slide and challenge. I love that dance. As a dancer and as a YouTuber, the other thing I am really working to be, as both, either alone or both like me, you gotta learn all the trending dances. As I just learned, a way to have success on YouTube is by adapting to the seasonal trends, and that's what's trending now. So I was willing to adapt to it, even if it wasn't as fun as it was, but they had me do it as part of the audition. They had me like run out there and just learn that dance. Super easy with it's got the cha-cha and then the 3-step back, then the arms, the hip rolls, kick your shoes off, toe taps, wiggle your shoulders and drop it or whatever. So easy I could almost state it in my mind. So they had us just quickly learn that and then get comfortable doing it to speed. That's really all we had to learn there, the speed. And this is just perform it for fun and as part of, going further with YouTube influencing and dance with a niche of dance. And just learning all the dances we're required to learn as dancers who are seasonally adapting. So there's that really fun dance. I had a few uncertainties, but I also got it. So that's the recap of my audition that I did Wednesday of this week. Now let's really look at costumes and what to wear at an audition. your genre is. Usually if it's ballet, you just want a plain old black leotard. They may say sleeves or no sleeves, but here in Pennsylvania where it's so cold, or other places where it's so cold, you really might want sleeves. Today, and also on audition day, I really could not have danced without this little top over because of how cold it was. So you would want your leotard and tights. Doesn't have to be black. They will probably pick your color for you. You may have to go buy a new one, but you gotta really be sure to have a variety of colors on hand because you don't know what they are gonna expect out of you. Just the plain old leotards and tights, slick bun, and then your shoes. Like, one issue I was having on Wednesday was my buns kept falling out, so that my instructor just sat down and redid them both at last minute. Then they came off really good and stayed in my hair for the rest of the long drive back to Pennsylvania right after. Just love my mini buns. So be sure your bun is slick. But for ballet, you're just likely to just have a leotard of most likely black or whatever color they say. That is a real hit and miss with tights and your point shoes if you're on point, or your flat shoes, or it could be both. And if they ask for it, a little topper skirt. This isn't my ballet topper skirt, but this is a skirt example for ballet. So that's one example, and they could ask for a shrug, but that is not likely. If it's not asked for, like, it's probably not. But it's so cold, you might consider having a shrug for warm-up. But for audition, you want to give an exact image. If it's like jazz or something, probably not a leotard and tights. I learned that the hard way when I was a lot younger. I was probably 8, 9 or so. For like jazz, you want to have probably a like shorts and shirt like you typically wear in jazz. Here's my signature audition top. For model calls, that's a whole different kind of audition I could talk about too, even though this is dance. My plain old black tank, because they might ask for black. And maybe black pants. My black pants are in that thing. Or black shorts. You want to probably be black. Be so simple. So you draw attention to your dancing, not yourself or your clothes. You can't distract them in the audition. That's why black is asked for. So preferably all black, or if they ask for some color, go for it. Show some personality, but not distracting. For one of mine, it was the music videos that I did back in 2020, where 100 of us ran on stage and performed You Drive Me Crazy, the famous choreography from Britney, all wearing jeans, stretchy jeans, though. At least I cheated and bought stretchy jeans and a black tank. I mean, for that kind of an audition, like hip hop or music video, same as model call. You maybe ask for like a tank top and jeans that you probably want stretchy or loose fitting in, so you could dance in them. Those costumes often are like jeans with a crop top or a colored tank top like this. The next year we auditioned in colored tanks and jeans for our next music videos, because we were doing a rewind of the Fivesies. My nickname for them, Five, a boy band from back in the 90s. I just love them. Don't ask me why. I've kept their numbers and their music as mine. So that is another audition outfit you might likely have. Basic old jeans and a tank that do not detract from you or your dancing. But for mine, they oddly enough asked for like costumes. For that, I had my little dress that I wore with my flat tutu. As a professional, you're likely to need a flat tutu, black or white, one of the basic generic colors. Or they may provide it for you. You may have to bring your own. But for mine, I wore that for the ballet with the black flat tutu, and then for the Latin, I wore the skirt with it to be jazzy. And that was like basically what they asked for. So costumes, you can never say what they are. it's just what they ask for. And very rarely will they ask for costumes as opposed to basic dance wear. So that's my lecture on what to wear to a dance audition, what to expect in an audition, as well as a recap for my good old audition. Hope you all have a great day. Stay warm if you're out there in the cold. And please don't forget to
Cha-cha. Shorty Spanish, so she like to call me Papa. True fact, everything I do, they call it Flocka. All they do is copy me, I call them Waka. She keep worrying about my hoes, I had to block her. Had to kick off the list, I'm playing soccer. Why you acting Jamaican? You not even the roster. If you really a Jamaican, make the